We're also documenting this on YouTube and TikTok. I believe I actually tagged you in one of the TikToks and you checked it out. But
yeah, I think I saw it. Is your partner the guy with the beard?
Yeah, he's right here.
I've seen it. There he is. Why did he
guys
hop on?
you guys are great, helping us out a lot, man. I've been doing renovation with by the way, I'm Willpower. I've been doing renovations here in Atlanta for about 8 years, going into my 9th years with investors, flipped over 100 for them, and I've done the 2 myself. And I've always had issues with acquisition, so I started getting into the wholesaling. So now with Ethan, he's my mentee. I'm getting him to get into the acquisition. So
I see when people tag me. I might not be able to.
You're going to get out of contracting because it's. I think you figure the money. The money's in like getting the deals because then you can do with like whatever you want because you're not forced to fix them up. And like, let's face it, dude, fixing up some of these properties. God bless you. If you did like 100 of them, you know what you have to deal with, especially when you deal with like working for people and they're so cheap and everybody wants stuff done like overnight. They don't understand when you buy these houses and renovate them. There's a lot of work that goes on.
I posted a TikTok this conversation 3 minutes ago.
That's fine, dude. Let's go with you, man.
Well,
congrats because you're smart because it's the money's always in finding the deals, guys. It's never in renovating and flipping this stuff. Like some people are really good at it. And if your partner's a contractor and you guys want to do that, that's fine. But honestly, you two are better working together and finding deals and let go of the fix and flip. I'm telling you, like the minute I let go of fix and flip, I've never looked back. Guys, I used to fix and flip like for a couple of years because I thought that was the sexy thing to do. And boy, it's hard. It's being a contractor is a lot of work. So I give you credit.
Keep it up, guys. You got this.
Thank you. So
appreciate it. So when it comes down to renovation, I quit. Psych, clickbait. You really think I'm going to stop doing renovation? I don't think so. I love that shit too much. What's going on, Power Squad? Willpower here, and welcome to another episode of The Power Show. What I love about renovation, I love the creating, the before and after. You get the blank canvas, this ugly house to making something beautiful, a home for a future family. I love that shit. Managing the people, dealing with the problems, solving the problems. Love it. Documenting it for YouTube, for you guys, seeing the process, what really goes down. My creativity side coming out in the editing and the marketing. Always learning every project. I learn something new. The experiences of dealing with new investors, new workers. Basically, I love what I do. And at this with flipping, I love it without having full control. And by that I mean like I work for investors. They get to pick, the color schemes, the fixtures, the finishes. They have all the decision-making power. So I don't have full control of the rehab. And the 2 flips that I did, I didn't even have control over that too. For starters, it was an HOA, so we really couldn't do much in the exterior. And second, I had a partner on that one. So, he was very price conscious. He didn't see the vision. I wanted to keep the cost as little as possible to make the most profits. And me, I have a bigger vision. I want to put out a product there, branding. It's not just about making money. It's about building a brand. I'm a true believer. It's not how much money you got. It's what you can do with the money that you do have. And that, nobody can take away. That's up here. That's creativity. When I started Willpower, I didn't start it to be a big renovation company, to have all these workers and be doing all this rehab. I started Willpower Turnkey specifically to learn how to flip because I know that what I wanted to be was flipping houses. I don't want to be a contractor. I have a big vision, a big plan. It's not what it seems. It's not a renovation company. It's not flipping houses. There's bigger things here. It's all having a plan and watching the pieces come together, keeping tabs on the numbers. The numbers never lie. You're against you. Take action, put things into momentum, and watch things happen. Enjoy the journey, trust the process. So I started Willpower to get the knowledge and the experience of flipping houses. I paid attention to where my investors were buying properties, who they were using, where they were buying their materials, their color schemes, etc. And the way that I work is I put myself in the shoes of the person that I'm dealing with. By that I mean, okay, if I want to be a contractor, let me be the contractor. Let me reach out to all these investors and see what they don't like about their contractors, and then that's what I'm going to focus on. Lack of communication, inconsistency in pricing, not showing up. I mean, the list goes on and on. Then I put myself in the shoes of an investor. If I'm an investor, how do I want my contractor to treat me? So that's how I work. I put myself in the shoes of each party, and I try to treat others as you want to be treated. With that being said, what I don't like about rehabbing, It's a long list. Unfortunately, it's a long list. All right, I want to start off by throwing this disclaimer. I am generalizing according to a decade of experience that I have flipping houses for investors. I have about a handful of great investors that I work with that have great business ethic, but for the majority of them, they're all full of shit. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're trying to be investors, flippers, whatever you want to call it. The main reason why I'm the honest, transparent contractor is simply because in this game, when the shit hits the fan, the first one that all these investors screw over is always the contractor. Realtor's gonna get paid. The hard money lender is gonna get their property. Everybody's gonna get their part. The closing attorney, everybody gets their money except the contractors. We're the first ones that get screwed over when the deal goes sour. They tell you put it in a lien. Liens don't do shit. You don't get paid your full amount. I had an investor, this realtor, Matt, piece of shit, tried screwing me over out of $9,000, gave me a check with no funds. I took him to court. They settled. They wanted 5. I got 6. After attorney fees, everything, paid my guys, I didn't get shit. I paid $1,500 to the attorney plus what he got after the settlement. It was like $2,000 or $3,000. He got half of that. Then the other half went to my guy. So I spent $1,500 to try to get $9,000. So I really ended up losing there. And my guy never worked for me because of that fucking idiot, Matt. I had another realtor. I never buy materials because you get screwed over once. This is a fun fact for you guys, in case you didn't know. Once the material, if I go and I buy the materials and I put them on the property and the client says, hey, I don't want you to work with you, whatever, this and that, and I decide to take that material that I purchased, I can. He can call the police, and that's trespassing and theft. Once the materials are on the property, it's part of the property and you're screwed. So I had a realtor reach out to me that she had a client, a Section 8 property. She was in the United Kingdom, I don't know what. And the lady wanted me to buy the dumpster. Like, I don't do materials. I was CCing her in the emails with arrow waste so she can see the price, this and that. I ended up paying for it. The lady never did the work. So I reached out to the lady when she declined the job. She didn't want to pay for the dumpster. I drove all the way in the morning, all the way to Jonesboro to check on the dumpster. There was some stuff there. I took pictures. I emailed it to her in Arrowways. Please, they're coming tomorrow. They're only going to charge me transportation. Make sure it's empty. You think she made sure it was empty? Hell no. I got charged $400, $500 for the dumpster. That realtor that referred me to the lady, you think she took any accountability? Nope. She said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what happened. That's why I don't buy materials and I don't do favors for anybody. This lady wiped her ass and I had to cough up the $500. I don't do business with her again. People like that, those are the people that hire help and they don't build a team. They want you part of their team when the shit hits the fan, but other than that, they just nickel and diming you, the majority of these investors. Another shady realtor that I had, that I did work for, everything was going good in this project out in Sylvan Hills. Something happened where he closed up the walls in the full rehab, but then he didn't do all the electrical. He had to bring up the electrical up to code. It was an old house, so we had to demo all the drywall, this and that. He paid me what he owed me, but this time instead of paying me a check, it was like the third draw, something like that. He said, oh, can I pay you with PayPal? It was like $4,000 exactly, $4,000 even. I was like, yeah, no problem, pay me with PayPal. Long story short, a month later, I got an email from PayPal. He reversed the charge. I tried to fight it. I was back and forth with PayPal for like a month. Then finally they said that no, he used his credit card, so I had to take him to small claims court. I just stopped using PayPal. I left that there. Never got paid. Never heard from him again. Shady, shady. Then his partner, little milk dud, his formula, I've said this before, his formula is, I did 3 projects for this guy and then I started picking up how he worked. On all 3 projects, he nickel and dimed me. But then I saw that he would put all this money into the finishes and the details, just so you have an idea of the details. So this day, it's been the first and only house that I ever did. In the bathroom, on the surrounding walls, we also tiled the ceiling above the shower and the bathtub. The first and only house in this price range that I've ever done that for. And this was back in 2017, 2018, I think. He would sell the house for record high. He'd get in a bidding war because obviously the house was beautiful with the finishes and the details. But you think that motherfucker turned around and say, hey, good job, Will, here's $1,000 bonus or anything like that? Hell no. After the 3rd project, I was like, fuck you, milk dud. There's another shady shit that all these investors do. They try to steal your subs away from you. He started reaching out to my guy. My guy reached out, this is what you guys, investors, hey, you guys investors out there, you're trying to steal my subs, trying to steal your contractor subs. This is what the problem is. You think that, oh, I'm going to give you work, oh, I'm going to pay you, that they're going to make, but what you don't understand is that I'm constantly giving them the work. I'm their boss. I give them work. You only have one fucking project. Who do you think they're gonna be loyal to? They're loyal to the dollar. So you ain't gonna take them, man. You ain't gonna take them. And if you do, then that motherfucker is not worth it. You can keep him. I had one investor one time do that to me, and then he calls me back and, hey, your guy Carlos, he's not showing up, this and that. I was like, yeah, that's why you hire me. I'm your Tylenol for these kind of headaches, your rehab headaches. I was like, and you deal with it. I'm not gonna deal with it. It's not my problem. You try to fucking screw me over and cut me out and take my guy away from me, and now you're having issues. A lot of you people think that you learn Spanish, every culture gets along with every culture. Just because you know Spanish doesn't mean, I guarantee if I got a guy here that knows Spanish and I, being Latin, speak to my worker and there's an issue, I guarantee I'll have that worker finish the job for me before this guy does. It's that simple. Just because you know Spanish doesn't mean you have the same communication that somebody of that culture has. So get it straight, don't get it twisted. The first time I ever got screwed over in a project was Energy Smart of Atlanta. It was this company, did $10,000 worth of work, the fucker went bankrupt. I got a letter that I couldn't continue pursuing to get paid because he filed bankruptcy. So that was that. And that guy worked shady. I had another shady investor. This guy, a little penny rubber, fat fuck, I don't know. He bought 2 houses. They were about a block apart. They were both small houses. It was like a combo deal. It looked to me, after everything went down, this is what I figured that, this is what I assumed that happened. Basically, he had to buy, the seller was selling the 2 projects as a combo. He wasn't selling it separate. He wanted one of them. One of them was really bad. Whatever. He bought both of them. Turned out there was more money needed. I don't know what. We were doing subfloors on both of them. It's $9,000. I gave him a great deal. $9,000 doing the subfloor on both houses. You guys know your numbers. You know that's a fucking great deal. $4,500 per house to redo all subfloors. So this fucker then started saying that I did the subfloor wrong. And I was like, what are you talking about? Who's saying that I did it wrong? He's like, the inspector. I was like, the city inspector hasn't even gotten here. I haven't called him. He was saying, no, the hard money inspector. I was like, hard money inspector? What do you mean the hard money inspector? What did he know? All I care about is the city inspector. There ain't no hard money lender telling me that I'm doing it wrong. So I was like, all right, well, get the hard money lender guy to meet me here so I can walk him through and see what we're doing this wrong. Oh, he doesn't have time. I was like, whoa, what do you mean he doesn't have time? Yeah, he can't make it. Bro, he started giving me the runaround excuse. I wants to procrastinate this as much as possible because he's making money on the holding costs, on the interest rate. So I found that very shady that he was being so patient with his inspector and was holding up the project for a couple days, a week already, and with this issue. Long story short, he basically just didn't want to pay me. He screwed. I don't know what happened with the project. I know that they finished one before, and like a year, 2 years later, they finished the other one. Oh, another funny issue with that same motherfucker was when we did he gave me the architectural plans. So after we did the subfloor, whatever, we framed one of the houses. He gave me the architectural plans. I framed it. When we walk it, this was, keep in mind, this was less than 1,000 square foot house. That was originally, I say, a 2-1 that he was converting to a 3-2 on the original footprints. We demoed everything. So anyhow, when I walked it, check this out. This motherfucker says that the rooms are too small, the bathrooms and the closets are too small, this and that. I was like, yeah, well, this is what you gave me. This is a small house. We're using the original footprint. You know what that motherfucker told me? He looked me straight in the eyes and said, this is where I expect your expertise to come into play and point out this closet, this bathroom, everything is too small. And I was like, no. So whatever, we figured it out, this and that. I was like, okay, so this is a change order. He's like, that's when the issue began. It's not a change order. Well, I was like, bro, you gave me the plans that you and your architect, I did exactly what's on the plans. You don't like it, now you want to change it. That's a change order. Oh, no. Motherfucker never paid me, that piece of shit. So that's that. And then one more story to finish the rant. This was this nice little fucking old lady. She was a retired flight attendant for Delta. I had done 2 rehab flips for her. I did on her personal townhouse. I renovated the house, paint, flooring, kitchen, bathroom, full rehab in her little townhouse. Since I had worked with her before and she was legit, little white old lady, super nice, Bro, I finished her job in a month. I never got a deposit or anything from her and it worked that way. She screwed me over, didn't pay me. She kept on giving me the runaround that her friend was gonna give her the money, sending me all these screenshots, bank shots, Bro, she dragged me on. Finally, like I think it's 90 days you have after you finish the job before you can put a lien. I put a lien. I ended up taking her to court. I lost. She got a $15,000 renovation for free because in my contract, I didn't specify one little thing. It cost me $15,000 to know that I had to add this in my contract. The stupid old lady, and not that I had the judge was like feeling for me, she was on my side. She didn't even show up to court. She sent a freaking lawyer. She don't have money, but she has money to send a fucking lawyer. And then she started saying that I did horrible work, this and that, blah, blah. But bro, if you guys know me, I keep fucking, I document everything. I had tags, pictures, that show it to the judge where it says that she was happy with the job. Oh, excellent, this and that. How much money you need for material, this and that, whatever. But the fact that I didn't have that shit on my contract, that small line, that one line in my contract, she got away with a $15,000 free renovation, that piece of shit. I hope she fucking has a stroke, dies while she's driving, gets in on a head-on collision, and they can't give her an open casket. Fuck you, die. This might be like my little rant here. I do know that in this contracting, okay, I'm talking about specifically, you know, the first-time home buyers, the first-time investor, rehab, we're talking ARVs, no more than 450, under 450. In this market, you know, the budgets are very, very tight. If you notice, all good contractors that I follow and that I've seen in this, they all move into higher end, to bigger projects. There, the budgets are bigger, the flexibility, you get paid what you're worth. You don't have to deal with all the bullshit that you have to deal with in lower budget properties. So I get it. A lot of these contractors that are out here, they're felons, so they become contractors and they're out here doing what they do, hustling and screwing people over. So then all these investors, you know, they always got their guard up, this and that. When the contractor comes, this and that. So we're the bad guys. So I got to constantly be proving myself. And this is where it gets a little confusing, because then, okay, I get it. There's bad apples everywhere. And this is where I throw it back on the investors. Your judging character is shit. Because a lot of them, if they deal with these piece of shit contractors, then a good one comes along, you should be able to say, hey, this guy is different. This guy says he does what he's going to do. He communicates. He's on game. He's on point. He lets me know what's going on. That right there should be gold. You should be able to say, hey, this guy is different. But a lot of these investors, they just treat you like any other freaking worker. And like I said, when the shit hits the fan, they want you to be part of their team. But other than that, they're nickel and diming you all the way through the project. A lot of these investors, I don't know where they get their business ethics from. I mean, nobody's ever on time. They don't respect. They tell you to show up whenever. I guess they're used to like all these contractors that tell you they're going to be at one time and then they never show up. I'm always on time, bro. On time is late, early is on time, bro. That's the model. A lot of you people need to get your fucking business ethics up. And these low-end projects, these investors got high-end expectations and they're watching too much HGTV, and then they got Kool-Aid budget. So they want HGTV results with Kool-Aid budget. This is a whole different monster than dealing with the high-end, with the bigger projects, with bigger budgets. This, you really got to know what you're doing. You got to really be a people person to deal with all this, because like I said, it's a headache. I'm the Tylenol for your rehab headaches, literally. I try to educate the buyers always. The deal is made in the purchase, not the rehab. A lot of these fuckers that don't know what they're doing, they think, oh, I'm gonna make it up in the rehab, and then other shit that they weren't planning comes up, and then the budget is underwater. And like I said, who do they screw over? The contractor, because that's the only one they can get away with not paying to get the deal to the finish line. That's what I love and what I hate about it. I'm still gonna be doing renovation. I'm just gonna be focusing more on the acquisition, the wholesale with the mentee, with Ethan. I really love that. I like what we're doing, basically cutting. I don't know why I didn't get into this earlier. We're basically cutting the middleman, going direct to seller. So with acquisition, we're trying to buy the distressed property. If it doesn't work out, you know, or they don't want to sell, we offer the renovation. So, and I still got, you know, my marketing that I do. So whatever renovation deals come through, they're coming through. But right now, the main focus is on acquisition. And then whatever comes out of acquisition is what's going to happen. So that's where I'm at right now with Willpower Turnkey. Focusing on willpower acquisitions, then we go into willpower investment, and then willpower capital. Let's see, bro. We got a big plan. Willpower, don't hire help, build a team, build a dream.